How are you, ladies and gentlemen? It is Wednesday, the first Wednesday of the offseason. Well, I guess I should say the offseason for the Bulls. Sad to say. And every Wednesday on this channel, we do Bulls hot takes where I feature your hot takes and my reaction to them. And guys, I will be continuing to do this series throughout the offseason, so keep the takes coming. And with that said, let's dive right into it. So what's going on, everyone? You're listening to Bull Central here. Hope you're all doing well. Guys, before I get into the takes, I'm sure you're all curious who the winner is of this lovely signed magazine by Joakim Noah for my season-ending giveaway, and it is after taking my subscribers and putting them into an online generator, the lucky individual is Ben Hansen. Ben, my man, congrats on winning the giveaway, and of course, thanks for being subscribed to the channel. I will give you 24 hours to claim your prize by either reaching out to me via Instagram or my email address on my profile. If not, guys, I'll draw another winner tomorrow if I don't hear back from Ben. Until then, we find ourselves a winner, really. I think the last time around that we did this, I had 3 people who never claimed their prize, and then eventually I just announced that I would give it to the first commenter on the next video, but hopefully we don't have to do this time around. But don't worry, guys, if you don't win this time, I do giveaways pretty often on this channel to really show my appreciation to you, the viewers, so stay tuned throughout the offseason for more. Also, real quick, don't forget, before the first round of the playoffs starts, to download the Viget app and join the NBA Playoff Betting League using my referral code BOCENTRAL. They are giving away $5,000 in prizes completely for free, and the app is free to download if you use the referral code. You'll also get some free tokens to get you on your way to more prizes. So check it out. The link to the app and my code is in the description. But with that, let's get us kicked off with our first hot take, which comes to us from Chi-Town Sports. The Bulls will do a sign and trade with the Nets, and the Bulls will get Spencer Dinwiddie, and the Nets will get Lauri Markkanen. This is an interesting one. I haven't seen this scenario before. Most people's general take on a sign and trade for Lauri involves the San Antonio Spurs, but the Nets, I think the thing about this one is that Dinwiddie is going to be a free agent, but he has a player option. Now, I guess it's possible that he exercises his player option and the Bulls do a sign and trade with the Nets that send Markkanen to the Nets while the Bulls get Dinwiddie. But at the same time, I don't really see why the Nets would be interested in someone like Lauri. I guess, he could be a shooting piece off the bench behind someone like Kevin Durant, but they really don't have much use for Markkanen. I mean, the Nets are stacked, so they really don't need a lot of guys, but if there was something that they needed, it's defense, and that's something not that Markkanen provides. Now, I would be surprised if Dinwiddie is no longer on the Nets next season, given all the changes that have occurred after he got injured. Like I said, it's very possible he takes his player option, but then the Nets simply trade him after that, or maybe he feels that he could get more from another team and declines his player option and goes elsewhere. But in the event that happens, then this trade wouldn't work if he declined his player option. Now, I've said it on here before, but Dinwiddie, I really like his game, and I think he would be a nice piece for the Bulls. Of course, the Bulls could have just kept him, but at the same time, he is coming back from an ACL injury, and he, we never quite know what a player is going to be like, right, once they return from something, from an injury that serious. So it would be a gamble for the Bulls to bring him in. Next up, we've got our guy, Coby White again. The Bulls will re-sign Lauri Markkanen. AK said that he's important for the future and he will have a bounce back season and shut up all of the haters. Interesting take. I mean, I will say I personally was a bit surprised when Arturas mentioned that in his exit interview, and I came out with a video shortly after that because Arturas didn't have to say that when asked about Markkanen's impending free agency. He could have just said, we're looking forward to discussing with his agent and coming up with a path forward. It's not like he needs to say that to be nice. That being said, in a way, I almost wonder if he's saying that to increase the trade value of Lauri Markkanen just a bit in the event they want to do a sign and trade, essentially telling other teams, hey, if you want him, we're not just going to give him up for anything. I mean, it's possible, but at the same time, it's also very risky because you may want to lower his value to his agent if you do intend to keep him and you want to get him on a cheaper deal, considering that he had a pretty underwhelming season. For me personally, I don't see Markkanen returning to the Bulls. I think the Bulls will try and do a sign and trade of some sorts, but there are going to be a few teams who are going to offer Lauri more than he's worth, or at least more than what he should be paid, in my view, and the front office isn't going to be willing to match. Now, if the Bulls could, say, get Lauri Markkanen for $9 or $10 million a year, yeah, I think that might be worth it, and see if he can bounce back now knowing he's not playing in a contract year. Maybe that clears his head a bit. Sure, possibly. I would love to see it happen just because I was such a huge Markkanen fan in his rookie season, and if the Bulls were able to keep him and he finally breaks out the following season, then great. I just don't see it happening at this point. Next up, we've got Rob Gibson, a super hot take. If you could only re-sign Theis or Thad for next season, which would it be? Well, this isn't really a hot take per se, this is more like a mailbag question, but because I liked the question so much, I decided to include it in this video anyway. And boy, this one is tough. I really like both of these guys, and my hope is that the Bulls are going to be able to bring them both back. Well, Thaddeus, they have within their control to bring him back if they just want to fully guarantee the final year of his deal. But if I had to choose between Theis and Thaddeus Young, I'm probably going to go with Theis, and for a few reasons. One, Theis is younger. You can likely get him on a friendlier contract since Thaddeus is going to be owed $14 million next season. Thad is obviously a more versatile player and provides more skills on the court than someone like Theis, given that Thad is a solid passer, he's a fairly effective scorer, can also defend, but he's also 33 next season, whereas Theis is only going to be 29, and the energy Theis brings is unmatched compared to Thaddeus Young. Also, the Bulls desperately need a rim protector next to Vucevic, which Thad isn't bad at, but he's not as effective as someone like Daniel Theis in defending the paint. Also, Theis isn't a bad scorer either. He actually was decent on offense for the Bulls in the limited games that he played for us. Next up, we've got Elias, Carrillo. Patrick Williams will average more than Zach Lavine. Okay, calm down there, Tiger. I'm still high on Patrick Williams, don't get me wrong, and I think he has a lot of potential, but come on now. Zach Lavine averaged over 27 points per game this season, while Patrick Williams averaged just a little over 9 points. I mean, I expect P. Will to make a bit of a jump in terms of his scoring next season with a full training camp, but passing Lavine, the only way that happens is if Lavine misses the whole season due to injury. Let's do one more. This one is from Will Tweed Up. If it were an 82-game season, the Bulls would have made the playoffs / play-in. Well, I do think if this was a normal season meaning not just the fact that it's 82 games, but 82 games spread out as we normally see, and not a bunch of games all crammed together in the schedule like we had in this shortened 72-game season, then yeah, I do agree, mainly because the Bulls were on a trajectory of trending upward when Lavine got back from being out due to the health and safety protocol, and because the standings were so close. And the fact that you had teams like the Hornets and Pacers who were all in a bit of a downward spiral at that point. I think it's very likely that they would have at least made the 10 seed for the play-in. I mean, you talk about 10 extra games with the team playing great basketball like they were, that's enough to get them there. However, because this Bulls team was so inconsistent throughout the season, you never really know if they would have gone back to their old ways and started playing like they had right after the trade deadline, which of course would have furthered the gap of them making the play-in. But I think with the positives we saw in closing out those final games, the actual consistent play from the players, the improved defense, the lower turnover rate, and really the assist to turnover ratio, I do believe we would have seen more of that if they were able to play an additional 10 games playing when knowing that it's going to be fighting for a play-in spot. Anyway, I'll leave it there for this week, guys. Congrats to our winner of the Joakim Noah Sign magazine. Like I said, feel free to message me to claim your prize. Also, guys, don't forget to subscribe and turn on your notifications so you don't miss future giveaway announcements throughout the offseason. And of course, as always, thanks again for tuning in, and I will catch you guys in the next one.